go for a walk.
Okay, okay.
It's like the last 24 hours has been a lot.
Yeah.
And girl just needs a moment alone to process things.
She needs her moment.
I like this because I feel like Oben was probably, to some degree, using Linda's presence
As a buffer.
or just like relying on it, like maybe taking it for granted as a buffer. Then she goes for a walk, and then she's just like, "All right, time to go back to Pac-Man."
Ugh. All right, that works. And then like in the time that Linda's gone, you can see like in the peripheral the like Elijah looking in your direction.
Linda leaves. The hammering on the Pac-Man buttons gets louder.
Oh yeah, I'm full rolling with. He's gonna have to approach her while she's playing one of the last few working. I mean, it's probably like more likely bootleg Pac-Man.
Yeah, it is a very sad
But
bootleg
I really want to roll with. She's just like, I just need to do something. So she's just doing that to focus, and playing it notably aggressively as well.
Okay. I think you get Oberon gets a couple of games out. Before Elijah kind of musters the courage and being like, okay, it's now or never, Linda's out. That he would get up and place a quarter down on the like front of the council.
Saying you want to turn or something?
I mean, that's kind of the etiquette, isn't it?
Etiquette.
You
You're
never
squashing here.
You never been to an arcade? Yeah, forget it. Do you?
She keeps playing. No, fuck it. She just keeps playing.
He. I like to imagine the council is like one where it's like if you insert a coin and you hit, you can do a 2-player mode.
Oh.
And so, without saying anything, he just clicks in the coin, hits the second player button.
God, yes. God, yes.
And eyes forward.
Yeah. She's probably just staring at him because she knows how uncomfortable it makes him. She's not afraid of eye contact.
He is playing the game because someone has to.
In the end, aren't we all just playing the game?
That's right. Because there's no other choice. And he, without even turning to look at O'Byrne, solely focused on this shitty Pac-Man game.
Yo.
He just says, that was my bad earlier.
What did he say, sorry?
That was my bad earlier.
With what earlier?
The slip.
It's fine. Neither of us have any problem lying.
Sure. Click, click, click.
Speaking of which, you know who Chad was. You straight up lied to us.
Shit, Bree
I'm
has
thinking
to...
a lot about that lately.
Bree has to remember who Chad was. Chad was the fucker in the beginning, right?
Yeah, he was the guy that you shot and killed. Who was secretly with the DO and with the car.
Okay.
With the car incident, you lied about Paranoia's number and knowing who. Yeah, I just went through like the people who were in the bar, and it's all like so I was like, I gotta prepare for this.
You know, you bring a really good point out. I should be bringing up my notes right about now. Let me do that.
That's all good. That's all good. Eat another Pringle.
Ooh, get that satisfying crunch.
ASMR.
ASMR, and then none of us proceed to hear it.
I'm not pushed to talk on. So you probably don't want to hear me crunching Pringles through this laptop microphone.
I mean, it's true. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. I appreciate the. Okay. Here we go. Okay. He says, yeah. Yeah, I know. I wanted to settle this. What is
every button tap and joystick push just gets a little bit more rough.
Mm-hmm. I think he keeps playing for a bit and then he dies, and so he goes to reach for another card and stops. He just kind of looks at her and he says, "What did I do?" I've been racking my brain trying to figure it out, because I know it's something, and maybe it's just the fact that I was on, air quotes, the opposite side, but what was it?
She gives him like a look, and she's kind of smiling but not, and it's really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And she just says, "Oh, you were on the other side of something. The other side of glass at the lab. The other side of Rufus and me when you lied about Paranoia's number when we found that van. When you lied about Chad when you shot him down in cold blood. I saw you in the lab. You knew who Chad was and you lied to us. You knew what that number was and you lied to us. And you know, it's made me think, how many other things have you just lied about this whole time? How many times have you known something and you've kept it from? How many times have you known something and you've kept it from your boss? Because hell, maybe that isn't even your boss. The only reason I'm still here is because it probably suits the DO. The only reason you lied about me dying is because it probably suits the DO. It suits you. It suits your boss. It suits this whole situation.
You think I lied for the DO? What?
Here we fucking go again.
Why the fuck would I lie for the DO?
Do you fucking work for them?
You can't, like, because of the sunglasses, you can't. Or no, he doesn't have his goddamn sunglasses!
Oh my god.
Oh, he's vulnerable! Uncomfortable.
Oh, no.
He's looking away. He blinks. And he's thinking. And like, his eyebrows knit together a little bit. And he's just like, You think I'm working... Oh, Bird, what the fuck?
Elijah, what the fuck?
I'm not working for the DO.
Then who are you working for?
Well, currently, no one.
She's not impressed.
He shrugs, and he like, he makes a motion where he's like, I'm gonna walk away, and then he's like, lets the arm fall, and he's like, look. You want an explanation?
I want the truth, but you're never gonna give that to me.
Why
You
wouldn't
never
I?
have.
Because I can give it to you now. I don't know what the hell it's gonna take for me to get you to believe it. I saw you at the lab. Yeah. And I know what that means. And I said nothing. Not to anyone. Because it wasn't my business. I wasn't part of anything when I was there. I just worked at the fucking sector. And I don't know what your involvement is with them because I didn't actually get to know you or whatever the hell your name was until I moved to the... what the fuck is it called? Shit. What's our division called? Is it Outback?
Suburbs.
Suburbs, thank you. Until I moved to Suburbs. Like, yeah, I get it. You're an SCP. Whatever.
She... Like... I don't know if she was still using the arcade machine, but she probably slams the joystick very, very hard against its limit.
Mm-hmm.
In the case. Like, the second he mentions it, he says that.
He says, there are plenty of SCP agents in the Foundation. It's nothing to blink at. And I'm sure you got your own thing there, and I don't need to know. He raises his hand. I don't.
Yeah, because you're just doing your job. You're like the fucking laptop you are. I get it.
No, because it's your fucking business, not mine. It probably sucked.
And what is your business?
What is my business? What I've been fucking doing this whole time. Trying to do my thing. Trying to keep my ass alive. We get sent out on this mission. We come across the car. We come across the number. Do I lie about the number? Yes. Do I have involvement with the DO? Used to. I didn't even know how deep it went.
Used to?
Yeah, used to. I gave them... I fucked up the transfer of the fucking SCP of Paranoia so that I could get transferred to Suburbs.
She starts laughing. So let me just get this straight. You fucked up the transfer of a known incredibly dangerous SCP so you could get a cushier job. How's that working out for you?
Raises his arms and lets them fall? You tell me. I fucked up.
Oh, which part? The part where you purposely decided you'd fucked up, or the part where you realized maybe doing that was a terrible idea in the first place, huh? Did you even read the description of it? Did you have any idea what you were walking?
I knew what we were dealing with the moment I heard about it. And I didn't think they were gonna let the fucking thing out. I didn't know what the fuck the DO was about. I knew it was some kind of insurgent group within the Foundation, that they were kind of not agreeing with what was going on. I know they had some agents around. That's how I knew Chad. He went by Squire. It was a fucking code name. He was part of it. And I knew that if he stayed around, if he left, well, sure, I'd be in a cushier spot. I'd be back in their good graces. I did every little song and dance they wanted me to. Because they ended up with that fucking SCP, even though it seemed like Foundation collected it. But if I did, you both would have been fucked. so I had to hide the fucking evidence.
Sure. And look where we ended up. In a group of rebellions. Isn't that interesting? You know, I find that really, really interesting.
I cannot understand
right now,
the jump you're making right now. I don't understand the jump you're making.
Oh, then let me spell it out to you. Because me being alive is valuable. Me existing is valuable. And me being a part of this rebellious little group, getting information of them, and potentially you getting access to that is valuable.
How the hell
Do you
is it
see what I'm
valuable?
getting at here? Because you didn't even know what we were all about. You had no idea the beatniks even existed. Look where we
No,
are
I
now.
didn't. I had an option to join and I didn't take it.
Yeah, because I was already there. You had a contact in me. Me being left alive, me being outside the Foundation makes me a rogue element.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Oberon, you've really thought this out.
What makes you fucking think I wouldn't?
Because this isn't none of this is fucking true. That's not what happened. Okay? He shakes out his hands. Look. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to repeat it, and you know what? That's fine. I'll keep saying it. I'll stick to it, even if you don't believe me. The reason I did what I did was so you two could get out of there. Foundation isn't something you just quit. It isn't a thing that you just get to be like, you know, I'm not a fan of my fucking day job. I'm gonna go retire now. And I know, especially with your situation, Oberon, that it'd be better if you got away. And if this group had other people who were similar that you could relate to, that could help you, then fine. I'll turn my back, I'll lie, I'll say you're dead.
I need help. Who gave you the right to tell me that, huh? What makes you think you know me well enough to want to do that?
Did you want to stay with Foundation? Would you prefer to? Because you didn't look happy in that fucking lab.
Oh, what? And now you're saying you were the one that got me out of there?
No. No, I'm saying I used a fucking tiny, minuscule amount of fucking empathy, and I thought, you know what? I can say fuck my job for the, second time in my life.
Yeah, and tiny's the only amount you have to offer, isn't it?
Great, yeah, no, that's fine. Take all the pot shots you want. You think I'm this mastermind, that I'm scheming, that I'm doing all this shit. I don't like the DO. What they're doing is... it's against what I stand for.
Yeah, and what you stand for is doing the job that your bosses tell you to. I know that well enough, and so do you.
Sure. But
So
I also believe in a clean foundation. Not this fucking wishy-washy shit that's going on. I didn't sign up for a group that's experimenting on them. Contain them, sure. But experimenting on them, no. Not only does it make it more dangerous... What?
Neither of us get a choice in that, right? I mean, you said it yourself, you don't retire from this. You don't get to retire from anything you've been involved in. The second they give you any kind of level of clearance higher than what you had before, you know there's no going back.
Sure. But I could try and do something. And that's what I've been doing. That's what got a fucking target on my back.
What target?
They got me kicked out of the foundation. They framed my ass.
What?
Yeah. Good old Elijah Yunnan. Guy with way too many team wipes under his belt. Don't you know he's the one that did them all? Sabotaged each team. And that's what happened with the last one, too. The Oberon and Rufus, yeah, he killed them, too. So you better catch him. Because he's a rogue fucking agent.
Well, I mean, I can see you doing that after you shot Chad.
Just because I can shoot someone doesn't mean I will.
Yeah, it depends on whether or not you're told to, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. 3 bags full, sir.
He shrugs. I have a way of life and I stick to it. Hate it all you want. You're not the first person to question me about it.
So why did you shoot Chad?
I told you already. But you're not listening to me.
Well, then why should I listen to you? What part of all this is giving me anything that I can truly believe in?
Well, if you're convinced that I'm some sort of 5D chess playing god, then nothing. There's nothing I can say that can convince you. I still can't figure out what made you decide from the beginning. Because it seemed we were good, it seemed we were fine, and then we weren't. And I don't know what happened.
A lot of things happened.
Yeah.
Why, are you upset about it or something? That doesn't seem like you.
No, I don't care. I don't care. Puts his hands in his pockets. It just...
Yeah, you never cared, did you? You never cared about all those times that Rufus brought you coffee in the morning. You never cared about all those times that someone sat with you and ate lunch with you, right? You never cared. You never gave us any indication that you cared, because you never did. I can start to see that now. You know he had a crush on you?
What?
You know, and I think it's better that he's further away. I think it's better, because right now, he's in the best place that he could. He's working with people that have the same values aligned as him. He's working with people that are giving him purpose like the Foundation never did, and he's happy. I've never seen him so at peace with his situation. Except for you. And I will never let you hurt him ever again.
Why would I hurt him? I wouldn't... I'm glad he's at peace. I'm glad he's happy.
You never seemed glad every time he brought you coffee.
He just looks away. I can't.
Oh, you can't what? What's it this time, huh? You're in too deep. It's gotten a bit too rough.
You're just gonna consider it another excuse, so forget it.
Come on, give me your best one.
Why? What's the point? I've made a good effort here. I'm fucking spilling my guts to you, and you don't believe it. You go out of your way to imply I'd hurt fucking Rufus. The guy can't even defend himself, and he's a good guy.
Oh, I'm not talking about physical.
He's a good... Did I hear them?
She does not answer that. She's still intently staring at it. What? Did you hurt him? Did you hurt him?
He's okay, right?
Why do you even care?
Back in that worn down piece of shit house. The one with the chair. I think it was a medic, but it sounded like he was hurt. That's how I got into that basement.
What did you see?
When I got down there, I saw it was this monster, the SCP, big thing, and it had him up against the wall. I don't know what the other ones with me saw. I think Shu saw something about maybe his family. I think they all saw SCPs too, though. But I figured something was wrong. It just didn't. I knew we were all seeing different things. When visual and auditory mimetics kick in, you can't trust anything. And so when she went to attack, I tried to step in, I tried to get Rufus out of the way. That's why I moved the chair. It's because it was where I saw him, and no, it was the fucking chair. It was the goddamn chair. Fucking amateur hour. Just pushes his hair out of his face. The only time I saw both of you in the basement was after the strings. And I stayed back to make sure you got out and that my 2 co-workers didn't see you and follow. And then they got their asses kidnapped. So I went undercover to get them. And that's how I found the DO. That's how I got you the location.
But did you find them? Your co-workers?
Yeah. You saw one of them today. He was the only one I was able to get out. Yeah, the shoe.
Well, that's not a complete team, right? Can't be mad about that, can you?
His expression just softens, not in the way of like, oh, that's a good chum, but in the way of like someone kind of giving up a little bit. Yeah, it's not a complete team wipe.
He steps aside and doesn't beckon, but like she kind of moves off to one side, almost like she's kind of offering the second half of the arcade machine again.
Oh, like opening player 2 again, or?
Yeah, she's kind of subtly inviting him back to join her at the arcade machine as player 2.
He looks like he's considering not, but then just quietly steps in and takes it. And just keeps his eyes on the game.
So what happens after the chair?
Well, you cut the string, and it did something, I think. That or I need therapy, probably both.
I mean, after that, after the chat, what happened in the room? You said you had to go undercover. What happened?
They dropped.
How the hell did someone die?
Do you remember the smoke? It was knockout gas. Affected them both. I was able to get to the edges of it, and there was one of the DO officers that came down. He's actually the one that Linda's been talking about.
Oh.
He's sloppy. He's so sloppy. And knocked him out, took his shit. In a uniform, they all look the same, so I just didn't say anything. I took the SCP, got in the car, followed them back. Got there. Had no fucking clue where I was. But I've done infiltration before. You just play it cool. You follow where they tell you to go, act stupid as hell. They have this storage area for the SCPs that I put it into. I was able to get it back, but with it combined, they probably got the fucking thing again. Who knows?
What do you mean? You stole it back off them?
Yeah. I got the
Why?
SCP back. I didn't want them having it. They were gonna do something to it, make it fuck up. There's a reason, secure, contain, protect, right? So, secure the thing so it can be contained. I don't know, it just felt like I had to.
He nods in response. She keeps playing, but she's thinking. She's using her noggin.
He shrugs and he says, so, yeah, I got it back, but not before I went to find Crystal and Shu. They were in jail, basically. It was a prison cell. I was able to get in there through lying and convincing them that I was meant to watch over them. Managed to get a message to them, let them know it was me, that I was gonna try and get them out, and that they just needed to wait till the right moment. By that point, I figured out, I'm Devin, I'm this years old. That some information. I stopped by his room, figured out where it was, and got just fit, so if anyone asks me, I'm not completely fucked. Roommate was a nice guy.
They put in jail, like, us. This doesn't fucking add up. This doesn't fucking add up.
It's a freaking prison cell. It's what you do with people. They're probably gonna get interrogated.
Yeah, but why? Isn't the DO just a higher section of the Foundation? Doesn't make sense.
No, they're not a higher section of the Foundation. They're an insurgent group within the Foundation. They're like, you ever heard of Chaos Insurgency? Probably not.
No.
They're a group within that is doing shit they shouldn't be. It isn't sanctioned. If they were found out, they'd be fucked. They'd be D-class. So, they got a lot running for them right now, and they are risking their necks every step of the way. They're trying to get majority in the Foundation, but that's why they can't just do anything willy-nilly. It's because they gotta stay quiet. So,
What are you doing in the lab?
what'd she say? I'm sorry.
What the hell were you doing in the lab? How the hell were you even connected to them in the first place? If they're an insurgent group.
Was in the beginning, my first connection with them was when Paranoia was transferred. I didn't know anything really about it before then. Just some whispers that they didn't agree with how things were run, but I didn't know what that meant. It just sounded like it's some opinion. The lab was just connected to the main in Australia area, wasn't it? I mean, I was just there passing by on mission. We had just gotten a rogue one, just got off mission. So I was making my way back. Saw you in passing. Didn't think anything of it. I think you might know more about this group than I did at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
Where?
Maybe.
So, wait. They were, the people taking you were Dio?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess the question is, did they? No, not my place.
All I know is that they've been using technology. They've been, I don't know, fucking fusing it with SCPs. Smushing them together. They use it to contain. It's like paranoia when it just boxed itself. And I don't know if they did this to me or if something else did it, but all I know is that, and she just gestures to where it is on her neck, and she just said, it's what they're all about. This sort of shit.
Yeah, it sounds more like Dio than Foundation. What? My turn to ask a question. What happened? I've never asked, never butted in, but... What's your story?
It doesn't really make a difference if I tell you anyway, since
Well,
I'm probably fucked as it is. It was my old job. I was cleaning. I was mopping the floors in a service stack. The monthly kind of thing. There was a green light. I don't remember the rest. I just remember waking up on an operating table.
Jeez. And then you were like this?
Yeah. I don't remember at what point I was. They were poking and prodding. It felt more like they were examining than anything else, but I don't know how it happens.
Wait. And then you were in that lab, like it went straight from there?
That's all I remember. I don't know whether it went straight from there or not. It's just what I remember.
If it was fucking them. He makes a sour expression.
So yeah, I got a bone to pick.
No kidding.
Sue me.
Oh, no. By all means. You got good reason to hate them if they did that. And if they're grabbing people, more the reason that they gotta be taken down.
I don't know if they're grabbing people, but there's a good chance they might be.
They don't care what happens to people. We figured that one out enough when they let the paranoia out. It's not a big step up for them to just not give a shit.
But you were the one that fucked up the transport. What
Yeah.
did you do?
I didn't fuck up the transport. I tipped them off when it was leaving.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know they were gonna do that.
Who the hell was your contact?
Jet.
Right.
And he was the only one who knew
Right.
and saw everything, and so part A, self-preservation, part B, I've got a handful of friends in the world. Sink or swim. So yeah, I shot him. I'm not losing sleep out of it. He was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
They're not all though, and that's the fucking. Taking down monsters is easy when they're people. You can still do it, but I prefer it when I don't talk to them first.
You know as well as I do that people are monsters too.
Oh, sure. Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm a piece of shit. He just shrugs.
Oh my god.
He's like, yeah, that's an easy jump, but and I think it's easier just to think about it that way, right? Like, the less you know, the better. Because it's all so fucking so temporary.
Temporary?
Yeah.
You're stuck here for life.
Yeah, but life isn't really that long when you're dealing with dangers day to day.
Self-perseverance is a basic human survival instinct.
Yeah. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff.
The more you know is the better. You should know that.
What she said, the more what?
The more you know is the better.
If I know about my target, that's one thing. Knowing about my team, knowing about that guy across the way that I'm gonna have to take a pot shot at and make sure he's down so that the mission goes smooth. No, you don't give them characteristics. You don't give them a personality. They're a blank slate. They're a nobody. And you pull the trigger and it's fine. Or if someone pulls the trigger on them, it's fine.
So who pulled the trigger on Crystal, was it?
I don't know if she's dead or not. She might be. I don't know who the person behind it is. I heard their voice. I think it was a woman. But there's also definitely like a general or a leader or something, someone in command. Small chick with a mechanical arm and burned on half of her face.
Mechanical arm?
Yeah.
Like what, a prosthetic?
Yeah.
Not an out of the ordinary prosthetic?
No, it was pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Why, you know someone like that?
If I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Fair enough. But if you did, you might want to know and look into that.
I'll keep that in mind. So what the hell happened to Chu? We're pretty messed up.
Yeah, I actually don't know. Well, I mean, he got shot a bit, so that probably didn't help, but I don't know what happened to his legs. When we were making a break for it, I got them out and we were heading out for the exits, but the CO and a couple guardsmen tried to stop us, got into a fight. Offed one of them, turned out to be the big guy's brother, so now he's got a personal vendetta. They got Crystal. They managed to keep her down, and they knocked out Shu, and I had a choice. She was too distant from us. She fell behind. I couldn't grab her, but I could grab him, and I could get the SCP. So I hauled his ass out of there and got him back to the Suburb division. But by the time I got there, they already had people looking for me. So I tried to hide him. They found him. I don't know if they beat him up or not, or what happened. He wasn't that hurt when I last saw him. But I know I can trust him. They're up to something, those two. Something outside of the DO, outside of the Foundation. They're trying to kill SCPs. And I don't know what the hell that's about.
Who's trying to kill SCPs?
Whoever Shu and Crystal were working with. And I don't know who it is.
But you can trust him.
I can trust him not to rat me out. Saved his life. You saw it.
I saw it once.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and count on it twice.
Good. Because I sure as hell wouldn't. Not after what I think I saw when we were driving away.
What did you see?
Okay, out of character, I think Jen did describe it as we were driving away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to assume... Wait, who was driving? Was it Oburn that was driving?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I
It was
feel
the
like...
that was driving.
I don't think it's unreasonable, because Jen literally described what we saw, or like what was standing there. I don't think it's unreasonable for me to kind of say she probably looked back in the rearview mirror and saw it briefly. So,
Yeah.
But if that's a problem, we can probably easily retcon that. But I don't think she's going to mind. I'm just going to... I think I saw paranoia.
Yeah. Yeah, I clocked that too.
Did you know that was what the containment breach was all about?
No, I didn't know. But it being out again, I don't know if they're wanting it to be that way or if it just got out again. The thing's a bitch to contain.
How so?
It's smart. I mean, you saw it when we were dealing with it. It can just make people into goo.
I've read plenty of files of things far worse than paranoia.
Oh, sure.
But what I don't understand is the transport.
Which part?
Sorry, chugging iced coffee. Hang on one.
It's alright. Take it. Get it.
Oh, dear, iced coffee.
Kings. Wow, that's
yeah!
crazy. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Like, I imagine Linda comes in from the walk, hears that turns. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Bye. Walking again.
Yeah, maybe I'll just turn 360 degrees and walk away.
Yeah. She like quite like they're probably too busy because like the arcade machine noise is like blaring in front of them, so they probably don't hear her footsteps or like her open a door. So they'd be far too focused on the arcade game and the conversation to like notice. So we could absolutely like have that.
It's actually like half considering like Linda getting back and instead of like walking into the building, just like sits outside the big hole in the wall for a while just to see if she can hear anything.
Oh my god.
Ooh, do it. When did you want her to come back? Like
yes.
how recently? How much have she heard?
Oh. How much are you comfortable with her hearing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. At any given point, like, because half the fun of this has just been Oburn wildly misinterpreting things. So I reckon at any point I'd be happy with Linda coming back and overhearing something.
Okay, so how about like half-ish, 2/3-ish of the way through, so she doesn't get it clear that like Vanessa is Oberon, but still gets like a bit of context about like the chair and Elijah's connection with the DO.
I'm cool for it.
Oh, yep. Does she? I mean, I'm also very happy for her just to straight up be like, "You motherfucker, you keep lying to me. I swear to God." All right, cool. Well,
Welcome.
I think the wall has enough flimsy wood and cracks in it for some sound to come through comfortably.
I think so, yeah.
All right, fuck. What are we getting at? Yeah, so she said that she saw paranoia. That's right. Yeah, she was asking about the transport. It keeps needing to be moved. Why? Sure. I mean, I've read files of things that require you to pace around in circles 3 times before you enter its containment cell. Otherwise, it's going to freak out and scream at you. Sure, that's not unusual, but paranoia seems different.
What do you mean? Like, they're all different. All the SCPs are gonna vary in how they're meant to be moved around and handled. That's not really my jazz, that's more containment's thing.
Do you know anything about weird?
I don't know. Out of character.
I'm going to say probably no, because I think it's the kind of thing that Tanik told us all about.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he doesn't. So he's just like, he just shrugs.
I think that's a brave assumption.
He just shrugs and he's like, no, not offhand.
It's look, I'm not a fucking scientist, but it's connected to SCPs. It's everyone has a bit of it in them. It's everywhere. But the more of it, the more you get like an SCP. I guess I don't fucking know. I met someone that told me about it. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I know a guy.
Linda and Rufus. Yeah, I know a guy. Linda and Rufus had no weird, and apparently that's unusual.
Wouldn't you think no weird is like a normal thing?
Yeah, you would, but when you're told that there's trace amounts of it everywhere, I guess it's like what, fucking radioactivity? I don't know.
What the trace amounts of it? There's just fucking pixie dust in the air. What the hell?
Yeah, but my contact is good. I trust him. And Paranoia had a transport route, and there were these pockets where there was, I don't know how they were measuring it, but it looked like there was just these voids, these null areas, I guess, where there was just nothing.
Huh.
And I can't help but wonder, what the hell is the connection?
There's gotta be something, right?
When I jacked into it, it was one of the weirdest experiences of my entire life. Like, I've done this enough in the lab to know what it's like. It's standard, it's always the same. That minor changes. Something's going to feel a bit different. There'll be a different sensation. I don't know, but this was different. This was wrong. There was something wrong about it. And it's not the first time I've interfaced with something anomalous, and this was different.
How?
And I don't know what the fuck is going on with it, but I want to know.
It might have been something. I wonder if it's something they did to it. Like, it wasn't always that way. They changed it, just like they change anything they get their hands on. The deal.
Yeah.
And so maybe they did something with it. Because I mean, I'm not buying it that they are only augmenting them to make them easier to store. That's a load of bullshit. You don't enter into this kind of thing just wanting to make things easier. There's more.
What do you know about The foundation being sold off.
Were those findings shared or no?
Did we all overhear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
then
that was a conversation that we
That was
overheard.
public information.
Okay.
She's the one that looked at the actual the money going in and out and transport of objects, but everyone overheard their discussion of like, we got to shape it up, otherwise we won't be able to sell it.
Okay. Yeah, he says that was the first I heard of it. And it's such a strange concept. I've heard of if like a division, a branch isn't doing well, they get new management. So maybe that's what they mean by selling it off, but no, it's weird. Not the kind of weird you're talking about, just strange.
What really gets me is they were just walking down a corridor in the middle of a containment breach. It's the most chaotic period of time possible, but I don't know. Maybe at the same time it's when no one's going to hear you, but you'd think they'd have that conversation where there weren't cameras, where there wasn't microphones, where it was a guarantee that no one would hear them.
Well, you recognized the woman with them, right? Linda's mom?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, she's a bigwig. She's up there. So if she's in on this, that means there's a good chance the higher ups, or at least a good percentage of them, are fucked. So they probably have someone on cameras that they don't have to worry. They have enough power that when they figured out I was messing with their shit, they had me out of there immediately.
What do you mean by messing? I thought you were framed.
Yeah. When I was in their base, when they figured out it was me, they framed me.
Yeah, what was you?
The person in their base fucking with their shit.
Oh, the Dio?
Yeah.
Right.
So they have the kind of power there to be able to plant that idea, send their guys in, the same guys that I had just been dealing with. That's a lot of strings. That's a lot of connections.
Buy the foundation?
That they're gonna... Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're trying to aim for. They don't have to worry about hiding if they run the entire show.
What's the play? Is it power? Is it control? Is it money? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
It's gotta be... Control's a part of it. It's gotta be... It's what they think is best. That's how it always is. A group thinks they're doing the best thing. And that they can do it better. Or who knows? If it's talking about money, maybe it's monetarily motivated? They could be making SCPs into weapons, for all we know. Something that can just be turned off by a button.
Pretty inconvenient if the button's on the SCP and you can't get close to it.
Oh, I didn't say they were smart. But if they're just walking around during a containment breach of paranoia of all things, I get the feeling they weren't scared of running into it.
So what are you saying? It was staged?
Or they have a failsafe. Something that makes it so that while that thing can just vaporize anyone who tries to deal with it, it's not going to go after them. Why else would they let it out again?
Yeah, why would they let it out?
Paranoia is all about collecting data. That's his whole thing. Or at least, that's what it used to be, unless they changed it again. But before, it was all, you remember, it was all about consuming. And it didn't talk before, either. Or did he not? Does he know it talks? He might not know it talks.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't say that, but yeah. He said,
no, I mean, like, O'Byrne probably just says, like, oh no, it talked. But it's different now.
Yeah. It was trying to complete some sort of code or thing. I don't know what it was for, but it was collecting data. So if it does that, maybe they are using it to figure something out. Maybe letting it out and sicking it on some innocent fucking people does something for them. Moves forward with something. Maybe it has to do with this weird thing you're talking about.
Maybe. That doesn't explain that. Oh, fuck.
What?
Oh, I am. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. God,
What?
I am.
What?
Oh,
Well,
you're gonna laugh when you hear this. The areas where there was no weird,
okay,
that's where they were letting it out to feed.
probably.
No, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
well that kind of confirms it then, huh?
Yeah.
This thing eats
Oh.
weird.
Oh, hang on a second. Is there like some like multi-level betrayal and backstabbing going on here with like the outfit that Shu and Crystal are working with, who wants to like destroy SCPs, playing the Foundation and the DO to like ramp paranoia up to eat all the weird and destroy all the SCPs?
Ooh. Linda behind the bricks, I have theories. I was really curious if the ooh was like in character for a second so they could both be like, what was that?
Oh my god.
And he says, so and at this point I think he looks away from the game.
Mm.
And the knockoff ghosts take his Pac-Man alive, but that's okay, it's not important right now. So if this thing's eating weird, and weird is something that's naturally everywhere, like atoms, I guess. And they're letting this thing out to feed, and when it feeds, it gets rid of weird. And just coming in. Do you think that's why Rufus doesn't have weird?
What do you mean?
You say he didn't have weird, right?
Yeah.
Because he came in contact with it. Like,
Yeah,
it hit him.
Yeah, and it bit me. I'm still fucking weirder than ever, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's there's not enough evidence one way or another. But like, if maybe it doesn't work on SCPs. No offense.
SCP, that's besides the point. Why would they be even doing this? If they want to destroy SCPs, if it doesn't even fucking work on them, it doesn't make sense.
Well, okay, I'm not saying they're the people that want to destroy SCPs. I do not know what the hell Crystal and Shu are doing. I don't know who they work for. They might be trying to deal with what the DO's doing by killing the SCPs before the DO can do more. For all I know. They're part of something completely different. The DO doesn't want the SCPs dead. The DO wants the SCPs for themselves. And they're letting out Paranoia, who's eating people, and getting rid of weird. Why? Why? I don't get it.
So, that doesn't explain Linda. Did she come into contact with Paranoia? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know her deal. I mean, we could ask her when she gets back.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Like, why would she lie?
That's the one thing that doesn't like Rufus, hell, could be anything. Like, I was hit by Paranoia, he was hit by Paranoia. It doesn't make sense.
Well,
It doesn't check out. Linda's the only other person I know.
I
Like,
don't
hell,
know.
the contact better themselves. It's twice as weird.
We need to find someone else who was hit by Paranoia and go from there. Right? And like maybe I don't know how you guys check that, if you have like a fancy machine or something. If you that's
He just kind of puts his hands up like you don't need to tell me.
But maybe that's the way of checking. If someone gets hit and they're not already on the weird spectrum, I don't know what the proper word for that is.
It gives him just like a fucking look. Like,
I don't know. What the fuck do you call it? I just learned about this today.
I'm on the weird spectrum. The particular use of language is just, she's just like, oh my fucking god, my god. Really? Can really?
I think at this point, you're going to hear the door open and some like quiet footsteps heading over.
Elijah shoves Burns' joystick so she dies.
All that trust building, and you just ruined it. And yet Linda will like walk over and entirely unprompted just say, I was in the room with it, but Devin was the only one that touched it. He got his hands eaten. So if you want to check
In the
someone,
room with it?
if you want to check someone's weird for the theory, maybe he could be it.
Fucking Devin.
Like fidgets, looks at the ground.
How the fuck were you in the room with it?
How long have you been in here?
Yeah, like, how? What? It doesn't matter. How long were you in the room with it?
A few minutes.
How close?
I didn't touch it.
How close?
Well, fuck, there goes our theory.
I said, couple meters, I think. Like, I had to get closer to try and pull Devin away when he lost his hands to it.
Did you pull him away? Was it still touching him when you pulled him away?
I think so.
Was there anything on the screen? Did you see anything? She just immediately strides up to Linda, grabs both of her arms, and it's just like, did you see anything on the screen?
Hey.
I think there was something on the screen, like out of character. I think there was something on the screen, but I don't.
I mean, Linda was
It's
kind of
okay.
traumatized. It's okay if she doesn't remember.
Exactly.
Yeah, Oberyn is just like, I can fucking do it.
Yeah, like as soon as like Oberyn like gets over it and like grabs her, Linda just like shuts down, like, oh god, I've done something wrong, and just says, I don't know. Like looks down like at the ground, like gets real quiet.
She lets go and just like backs off just like a bit, just like, right, it's fine, don't worry about it. Is Devin even alive?
I don't know. There's a lot of blood.
Wait, out of character, does Oberyn know who Devin is?
I don't think it's been stated. However, every time Devin comes up, Elijah's just like, ha.
Right. Who the fuck is Devin?
Devin's the fucker I took the
Just looks
identity
like-
of. The one I knocked out. Back at the place of the chair.
Huh.
He works for
And did you
Foundation. He
leave-
also works for the O.
And did you leave him back there with the chair?
I left him in a pile of bushes and he found his way back.
Hmm.
I didn't leave him there with the chair, though. Apparently he found his way to Linda, though.
They were at Suburbs
Yeah.
looking for
Yeah.
you,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
So-
And my dad works in accounting, so if you wanted to get some information on the foundation's finances, then without going back to the foundation, then would go and ask him.
You don't
Hello.
want to reach out to your dad right now, Linda.
Yeah.
The things about the books being off. Do we all know that? We share it, right?
I think at this point, O'Byrne's not going to keep it a secret. She may as well. I think can share that.
Okay. He says, your dad works in accounting, right? Wouldn't he notice if the books were off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
More likely, he knew the books were.
Yeah.
He was connected to the books being off.
And your mom was walking around during a containment breach of a really scary SCP, so...
Yeah.
Linda
is just kind of like slowly shrinking in on herself.
I think you're disowned.
I hate to say it, but he's right.
Yeah.
But we've all gone through something like this working here.
Nods. Looks at floor.
Sorry for it. Yep.
That sucks.
Lost?
What did Oberon say?
Sorry for your loss.
Oh, so it got them at the same time.
Yeah, they both just said like something equally as bad at the same time. I also love that Linda is now trapped in a room with two of the most useless people when it comes to emotional situations.
Holy shit!
And that's not even because of the chair. Like O'Byrne was just like this already.
They were both like this.
Right. I guess we gotta find Devon.
Yeah, I think that works.
He said paranoia or consume or whatever it's called eats data. Devon was trying to plug something into the back of it. Maybe they were looking for some of the data it had eaten or something.
Did he get a chance to plug it in?
I think he plugged it in but couldn't find exactly what he was looking for.
Cool. Good.
Wait, fine. What was? Wait. How the? I have. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Because I got a lot of questions. And I really, really would appreciate them answered right now. What happened? How did you even get into its containment chamber?
Well, I am. And God, Linda pauses for a moment, has like a record scratch moment, and says, I was transferred to Suburbs. Nice, quiet division where nothing really happens.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing your papers come through early.
And if my parents are in on this, then maybe they always wanted me close by, and they never would have approved of this kind of thing, but maybe if they are in on it, then they sent me away so I wouldn't be caught up in whatever is about to happen. Okay.
How
But
did you how did you run into paranoia? How does that happen?
well, I was
You don't have
transferred.
security clearance. How the hell did you even get close to it?
I'm getting to it. Transferred to suburbs. I was given your desk, looks super, and I was cleaning it off, and I bumped into operatives from the Foundation who were investigating, well, looking for you, gestures to Elijah, and I ran into Devon and Griff after I'd gone through the suburbs archives looking for information on you, gestures to Oburn, because the Foundation told me to keep an eye on you, like keep an eye on all the reports, especially any that mentioned you. So I kept looking for reports about you at the suburbs, and then I ran into Devon and Griff, and they said they were also investigating kind of Elijah and Oburn and like the last mission you two took together. But they said that the management was stonewalling them, and that they needed an executive signature to get access to the information they needed. So I spoke to Miss Ernst. She gave me the signature, and we went to the Foundation, and I did everything right. I followed all the procedures, and we went into the containment cell for paranoia, and then all this happened.
Who gave you authorization to enter its cell?
Miss
What was-
Ernst.
Why?
I don't know. She shouldn't have. Maybe
Yeah,
she's in on it.
no shit she shouldn't have. What was the reasoning for you needing to access it at all?
Because I was doing what I was instructed to do and follow up on reports and investigations about you.
And
Because the fan.
what part of that requires you to enter the containment cell of a known Keter level SCP?
That's what all the paperwork was leading up to. Look,
Doesn't make any sense. Who actually told you to enter its cell? Griff, Devon, Ernst?
no, it was like I said, it was Devon and Griff that wanted to get into it, but they couldn't unless they had the right authorization. So I got the authorization.
When you got there, what did it look like inside the cell?
It's all plain grey walls, a weird door, and it was just an old computer of some sort on a pedestal, chained down.
Right.
And then when we got inside, it started talking, and there was blacks and the SCP kind of came out. Devon tried to plug the thing into the back of it, and I don't really remember much from there. It was there was a lot happening.
Do you remember what it said? Anything. A word, a phrase, something commonly repeated, just anything.
It said that Oburn and Rufus weren't dead, which was the reason I was there.
Fuck it. You had a conversation with it?
What's
Jesus Christ, what the fuck have they done to it? What did Devon try to plug into it? What did it look like?
I didn't get a really good look at it. Some kind of device looked like a big chunky radio with cables and stuff coming out of it.
A radio.
I don't know what it was.
But it looked like a radio.
Yeah, out of character. I don't remember exactly, but I think that's how Jen described it.
Just I'm gonna pick Jen's brains about that later. It's probably like nothing, but I'm kind of like, oh shit. Detail
Hi
oriented
Jen, we
brain
miss you.
detail oriented brain is just fucking zooming in on that for a reason that Jen probably never thought of, but if she did, I'll love her forever. Just related to something oddly specific about when O'Byrne was in the lab. I'm gonna spend one of those. That, and it's also relevant to something, again, out of character, something that the Beatniks were doing. Oh, it's all, oh, how the turns have tabled. It's all coming together. It's all coming together, gamers.
Oh, fuck me. Alright. Yeah, just looking at my notes again. And yeah, Linda would remember this, but Paranoia said to her that it'll give some information in exchange for some weird.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Because I didn't listen to the rest of your sesh. I really wanted to, but I kept forgetting. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because this is proving to be a really fun moment for me as my brain is exploding with all the fucking connections. Okay.
Yeah, like just going over my notes, like Paranoia outright said, like, I'll give you information if you give me some weird.
Now the question is, how the hell does it take it from people?
Into rugs. It didn't touch me. I don't think it touched me.
Well, it doesn't need to. We already know that entire areas where it was feeding were no weird zones. And he kind of looks in Vanessa's direction for confirmation. So, it doesn't need to touch to do it, I don't think. Right?
She's just not going to say anything about the radio. It is publicly available, so I'll mention it for posterity. But when she and Harmony did the little heist, when they she broke into like a door in the Beatniks and discovered Tanik listening to some kind of bizarre radio signal that fucked her up when she listened to it. That's where her headspace is at the moment.
Interesting.
I dare say there's a connection there. Because it's almost like that radio signal. I got to go double check my notes. I'm probably gonna actually have to listen back to the session. But it's almost like that's like maximum weird, and this is like the complete opposite. Like absolutely flat zero weird. Because that thing like warped her and messed her up, and there is like a certain association of like things not adhering to like laws of physics and shit with SCPs. Like the whole point of that, I guess that's anomalous to me, is that it doesn't make sense. So I think there's a connection there. I think there's something going on. But no, she's simply not going to mention that. That's for everyone to find out later.
Next time in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. I also just got to go actually look back at my notes and potentially re-listen to that session if I didn't make enough notes at the time.
So
I've got to find out what's on the disc.
Linda basically gave the summary of what happened in her tutorial, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Like went to suburbs. Everything was going fine except for, all the suburbs lacking standards. And then, Devon and Griff showed up. Werner gave her the signature, went to the foundation, did all the paperwork to access paranoia, caused a breach, and then everything went to hell.
Elijah kind of perks up. It just dawned on me. Devon. I read his diary. And I didn't think of anything of it. But in it, he specifically said something like, what was it? I'm sick and tired of this weird shit. And then they were doing an experiment on someone. I think we need to start with Devon. I think, regardless of whatever's going on with paranoia, he is where we need to start.
Do you have any idea where he is?
Oh, he's got to be at the foundation somewhere. However, he travels with Griff, right? Big
Nods.
guy, big chin. Looks like someone just pissed on his Cheerios. And Griff hates me. So maybe we could bait him out.
Using you as bait.
I mean, he hates me. I shot his brother.
Wait, you shot who?
Apparently I killed his brother, so Griff loves me. I still don't know who his brother is. Might have been the guy I shot when I was leaving the O. Might have been someone long time ago. Don't know. But I did, because he hates me for it. So.
God, now I'm digging through the art drop trying to find the pictures Ginger had to look at for familial relationships with Devon.
Well, Griff, not Devon.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Griff.
But if Griff travels with Devon, and Griff comes for me, there's a chance Devon will come with him. And if not... Yeah, I don't care. I beat him once, I'll beat him again.
Fair enough.
I'm not here, though. I just got this place secured. He knocks on the arcade cabinet.
You would. Yeah. And she just looks over at the wall.
Yeah.
Linda also looks over at the wall.
It's a work in progress.
Guess that was really my fault, wasn't it?
It was kind of cool, though.
It's a good party trick, hey? I can do it again.
Yeah, but maybe don't do it all the time.
You sure? I'll go do it right now.
I only have 2 left. There's a creeping smile on his face. But I mean, hey, if you feel like having Pac-Man kick your ass for a change.
What happened here?
They're both just probably like, oh, fuck. Oh shit.
So, well, Elijah actually, he's like, this is where I went on mission. This is where we encountered consume, paranoia, etc. He lists the number. Well, technically through the wall. Several people have been through here since. I imagine that's how Vanessa came across it, but yeah, that's my history with it. Figured they wouldn't trace me back here. I've been in the game a while, so it wouldn't make sense for me to go to the last place they'd think of me. Or first place, I guess.
You've been in the game for a while, so it wouldn't make sense for you to go to an arcade.
I can't tell if she's making a joke or not.
That's out of character.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me making a joke.
Well, I could hear the finger waggle.
Yeah, he just shrugs. It's not, the owner can't get anyone to buy it, so it's mine now.
That's another thing I'm gonna have to pick Jen's brain over, whether like all the reports and stuff included the arcade, because everything was like heavily blanked out, or like not even blanked out, just like didn't include any information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's probably mentally backing away now, not physically, because she like, kind of just forgot. She got too caught up with Linda coming in being like, oh yeah, I know about paranoia, to kind of remember that Linda doesn't know what's her deal. And now she's like, oh fuck, I didn't think that's her.
Elijah will cover for you, don't worry.
Yeah, and she's just like, I just made a joke about making a giant hole in the wall, and I probably shouldn't have done that. God, I hope no one mentions that.
So the two of you were on a mission together? Yeah.
Back when we worked in suburbs, yeah.
Nods.
God, tracking down paranoia before we knew what it was. It would have been a job for MTF if anyone knew.
Elijah scratches the back of his head.
Yeah, she gives him a little bit of a look. But we were just an investigation team.
For Vanessa.
Yes.
Linda just kind of like looks at her half expectantly, doesn't really push the issue any further. And then like getting no response, she'll just like won't say any further and we'll just like look down at the ground again.
I'm feeling generous today. If you want to ask a question, do it now because I might not feel the same tomorrow.
Are you O'Byrne?
Yeah. Don't get used to it though. Code names are better.
Eyebrows up, like dang, she gave that one up easy.
She's just hit a point where she's just like, it's gonna cause more problems. Like, I think after Linda just walks in being like, yeah, I encountered paranoia.
Fair enough.
Just looks over at Elijah, just like, don't fucking give me that look.
I'm looking at the floor, I'm not doing anything.
She's with us now, not like you. She might as well know.
Fair. Alright, fair.
And I get the feeling she won't be contacting her family anytime soon either. Now that that band-aid's been ripped off.
He like...
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
You say that, oh, she's not going to be contacting them anytime soon. When, like, in my head, one of the things she did when out on a walk was like ask someone for some change, like find a payphone, like call home, and just like not say anything, and just be like, oh, sorry, wrong number in a fake voice,
Oh,
and
Oh
then
my
like
god.
hang up again.
No.
baby.
Sorry, what were you saying, Brie?
Oh, he kind of looks up slightly from the floor in Linda's direction, but like not directly at her. Kind of seeing if there's any reaction to what Oberon says.
My mind was also going like 1,000 miles a minute now. What was it that Oberon just said about, like...
She won't be
Oh,
contacting
she
her
was just
family.
saying- Yeah,
Right,
she basically just gave justification as to why she feels like she can just bluntly be like, yeah, no, I am Oberon. Because
Right,
Linda's not nearly as much of a threat as she was before.
Yeah, there isn't much reaction, Linda. It's just like, it's still very like like shoulders are slumped, hands like buried deep in pockets, head is like down, looking at the floor, kind of thing, just trying to make herself very small.
He kind of exhales a breath in, turns, picks up. I imagine that the machines have been broken, so when you insert a quarter, it just hits the ground, and the machine starts. So he picks up one of the coins off the ground, kind of studies it, and then he just flips it over to Linda.
It will absolutely like hit her in the face, and she will not catch it.
He plays a cool.
Well, like she'll attempt to catch it and miss, and will absolutely like.
Good catch.
What's this for?
Steps aside so that there's a more clear path to the two living arcade games.
What do you mean? What do I do with this?
Have you never played an arcade game before?
Jake's head.
Oh my god. He just motions her to come over.
Sheepishly comes over.
Okay, so you've seen... he just looks it over and it kind of raises his hands like... Question mark? Vanessa, over. Vanessa, over. You've seen her, playing this earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna put the coin in here.
Puts the coin in.
Okay. And then here are your buttons.
Like, wiggles the joystick. Like, oh, it makes the little guy on the screen move.
Yeah. So when you're ready, you're just gonna click this button here. That's gonna start the game. These right here are gonna come after you, and you're just gonna try and collect as much of these dots as you can. You can't go through the wall here.
Immediately runs right into a ghost.
Puts another quarter in. So anyway.
And just kind of like idly while learning to play. imitation knockoff Pac-Man. And it just quietly says to Elijah, like, so is this what it's really like in the Foundation? Is every day like this?
Like, he kind of motions around the room. This or, like, what you saw back there?
Or just like I don't know anything. Like being kept away from everything, and then all this happens, and I just Waka Waka immediately walks into another ghost.
Quarter. Tosses another quarter Obern's way.
She just looks at Elijah. I am not teaching the newbie how to play bootleg Pac-Man.
He shrugs and he keeps doing his job, but he's also like, "How you need to help me co-parent this child?"
And he says, kinda. It depends where you work. Like, you looking at files every day is not uncommon, but you didn't know anything, did you?
I'm starting to see that, yeah.
Yeah, that's not the most normal. It's not safe. No. I wouldn't say every day's like this, but for everyone. But if you're an agent or an MTF, something along this line. This is actually pretty tame for NTF. If your containment, it goes smooth until a breach happens, then you're pretty much flying by the seat of your pants and doing what your commanding officer tells you to. And hope you have all the protocols memorized, and if you don't, well...
I have all the protocols memorized.
That's good. But you don't have all the SCP protocols memorized.
No, just, lockdown procedures and escape routes and assembly areas and
Right. And those are great, but they're not gonna do you much good when SCP-256672 phases through the wall, and if you look at it, your bones crack in 2 directions.
Runs into another ghost, looks up from the game, looks over to Auburn, looks back to Elijah, looks over to Auburn. Is that a thing that can happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is there, mostly looking at Auburn, she says this, is there actually an SCP that can make your bones crack in multiple directions just from looking at it?
You don't want to know.
But if
Makes it easier to sleep at night.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
It makes it easier to sleep at night. If you don't know.
But if you did want to know, it's in Germany.
Oh.
Not all of them are bad. There's some really good ones out there.
like Mr. Starosta.
I don't know who that is.
He's good. That's all that matters.
The drop bear.
Yeah,
That
drop
one's good
bear.
too.
Weird but good.
Okay.
Or God damn it, what was her name? The barista.
Yeah, she's good too.
A lot of the ones at Suburb Division were pretty tame. Some of them were actually good. Some of them were just idle. There's different classifications for that. I'm sure they probably come across your desk before, the differences between if they're sentient, if they're not, and if they are sentient, if they're capable or wanting to try and escape or not, and if they're dangerous. So if you're reading a document, for one, you can usually get a sense of what it's like, based on if it's what it's classified as.
Just looking at what I've just written down, just made the connection between like paranoia, consume, and that like what the DO has done is that they've fucked up a perfectly good SCP. Look at
Oh
it; it's got anxiety now.
Holy shit.
Because like it was consumed, now it's paranoia. What's it paranoid about?
Mm-hmm.
Is it paranoid about weird, and that's why it's eating it all? Is it paranoid about like everything because like they've literally just fucked up a good SCP and given it anxiety in their quest to destroy weird? Oh,
Or radical.
If the DO is like financially motivated, like wanting to, maybe they're trying to like destroy all the weird so they can have a monopoly on it.
Maybe.
It's like they can be the only organization in the world with like weird enhanced operatives, and they can be the only organization in the world to like sell like weird consumer products and stuff like that.
Making a monopoly on the market.
Yeah, monopoly on weird.
Weird monopoly.
Then it comes down to like, what's the benefit? Like, obviously, the classic world control is an obvious one. But so much of the, like, if you look at the core basis of the SCP Foundation, it's about stopping things from basically ruining the greater society as a whole. Because if everyone knew about monsters, nothing would go well for anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole idea of a facade of normalcy to protect people from the things that science can't explain, for instance. That's like the whole core underlying dealio of it. So then it's like, okay, getting rid of it all makes sense. Trying to harmonize with it makes sense, but monopolizing it and capitalizing it is a trickier one. Just because that requires a certain degree of integration within society that isn't like not the same as harmonizing. And the harmonizing kind of feels like a certain degree of, oh, we'll still keep it a secret though.
Mm-hmm.
But capitalizing it is almost like someone's going to know about it at that point.
Yeah.
And that leads to a lot of chaos.
Yeah, that's a good question. What they're planning on with it.
Yeah, but like, it's obviously different than like they don't want to contain it and protect people from it because that's the Foundation's thing. And if the DO wanted to do that, then they just like go along with the Foundation. They don't want to harmonize with it because that's like Suburbs and Beatnik's thing. So if they wanted to do that, they'd just go along with it. Well, logically speaking. So they obviously want to do a secret third thing. And like Elijah was saying about Crystal and Zhu, is that their outfit wants to destroy SCPs or kill SCPs, and like presumably get rid of Weird as well, but they're not working with the DO.
I don't know if they're trying to get rid of Weird. I do think they're trying to kill SCPs. I don't know if they even know about the Weird. The plot thickens. So then, fellas, is RP adjourned, or are we still going?
I feel like we could wrap it up comfortably.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, I think like it's probably like it's getting pretty late in SCP time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we've got. Ah, fuck! I shot my phone. I think we've got like a lot to go on as far as like what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, do we!
Stabilize. Or do we? I mean, we've given Jen a lot to think about.
When she listens to this, inevitably.
Hi, Jen. I miss you.
I will say one thing before ending recording and things like that is that probably later, when they're all just like going to their separate parts of the arcade or whatever, Elijah will just kind of reach a hand out and kind of brush Obern's arm, and while like passing by, and if she looks, he doesn't say anything, but he does like mumble mouth thank you.
Oh. Oh my god. We progressing.
We progressing, boys.
Sorry, I'm just being very normal about this fictional relationship between these two characters.
Oh my god. I'm having a real normal one.
Yeah, you know, just yelling, screaming, frothing at the mouth. Normal.
Runs on all fours, breaks into a sprint.
Normal. Oh god. Oh, I'm very excited for them to go on a heist again.
Yes.
Yep.
Jen's gonna be like, I have all of the plans done. It's gonna be great. And she's gonna come back and we're gonna be like, we wanna trap them. She's gonna be like, what?
Yeah,
We're like, we wanna trap them.
We wanna track down Devin.
I wanna put out the
like...
cheese. The cheese is Elijah, so that Griff comes and gets it, and Devin's there too.
Yeah. Hi Jen, welcome back. Hope you had a good trip. Okay, so we have all these questions and now we want to kidnap at least 2 people.